the new the TIE Squadron or from the Star Wars miniatures game?
No, let me put the box back together here. And I'll show you. For those of you out there who like me, by the way, hi, I'm Michael. Hello.
And I'm Jason, and
Channeling
welcome
my inner
to
warrior.
From My Mother's Basement. Michael, what are you trying to put together right now? Box for what?
The new X-Wing miniatures Imperial Aces expansion came out this week. You get with it a there we go. You get with it a red Crimson Squad Imperial TIE Interceptor and another specialty TIE Interceptor. And some new rules, and it's really cool, and it's epic, and it's badass. And if you play the game, go get it while you can. If you don't play the game, why not? How could you call yourself a Star Wars fan and not play X-Wing?
You know, you could say that with almost any other fandom, actually with every other fandom out there.
That's mine.
Anime, Weiss Schwartz, Magic.
That's my big one right there. That's my big one right there.
So
They're getting
many
ready
out
to
there.
release in the near future actual ships. By that I mean transport ships.
Oh, wow.
So like Rebel blockade runners and shit, more or less to scale.
Let me ask you this, Michael. I mean, as cool
So
as
you take that ship, that small, and you get, it literally is this freaking big. And there are scenarios around it.
I can imagine. But I gotta say, this is a really cool game. I have played it with you and a few other people.
And you will play it again.
I will play it again, yes, because I enjoyed it. When's the last time you played a HeroClix game?
I got rid of all but 3 of my HeroClix. The only HeroClix I have left.
I still have that giant box when you got me into that, you enabler.
Oh, yeah, no, I had that problem too. But it just, I don't know. See, the thing with HeroClix is it kind of went nowhere. It just got stupid fast.
Mm-hmm.
And it... The events, I mean, I played it for a while. I was fun at first, but it lost its appeal real quick. Mm-hmm. And because there are people just doing stupid shit with it. I mean, I kept all of my Sentinels. So I've still got 3, maybe 4 Sentinels. So I think there's a 4th one somewhere. So I kept my Sentinels. I kept this guy right here because, well, come on. I mean, it's Pooley.
You got to keep DP, yeah.
Gotta keep Deadpool. So I kept D Pooley and got rid of pretty much everything else. So that to answer your question.
Yes, it does.
8 months ago.
So, which means I might have to bring them up so I can add more to my new collection, which has grown significant, relatively fast. I
was talking with, was it yesterday? We stopped by the shop, and they were doing an X-Wings tournament that I had forgotten about because I'm not on the list that gets that.
Right.
So, yeah. I think I still have one of my Harley Quinn clicks. I'm not positive to answer Sega fans' thing. The problem with the Harley Quinn clicks is the sculpts on them were pretty crappy.
Really?
Yeah, they weren't that good. There was one that was decent, but I don't know if I still have her or not. I probably do somewhere. So, yeah. But speaking of which, that kind of rolls in kind of neat. Speaking of comics, you guys hear me talk about Hypno all the time because, well, that's the local comic shop, or the local excellent comic shop of the comic shops that are present. Yesterday, while we were out and about in LA, doing some other stuff, checking out a yarn shop that's closing before they close, we happened to hit another place because we always like to expand our horizons as far as comic book shops go. There's a place in Santa Monica on Pico called Cool Cats Comics and Games. Let me verify that I am saying that correctly. Come on, Firefox, work. It's run by, as near as I can tell, it's run by 2 Asian brothers. Cool Cats Comics and Cards. It's run by a pair of brothers and another gentleman. And we all just geeked out, first off. We started, I mean, it's seldom that you walk into a comic shop and you geek out respectfully. It isn't a case of, boom, here's my nerd penis. Boom, well, here's my nerd penis. Boom,
and going back and forth between the two.
Nerd penis. It wasn't any of that.
Mm-hmm.
It was, it was just, talking about stuff and being really cool. And they were really cool to chat with. I mean, these guys are obvious hardcore fans. I call them fanboy, and I think they'd probably wear that with pride. But they're a couple of really cool guys, and their selection's kind of small. They're a small shop. They've only been open for about a year. Okay. They could definitely, if you're in the Santa Monica area, in the vicinity, their address is 10922 West Pico. They're literally half a block west of the Hokkaido seafood buffet place. On that side, same side of the street.
And are they?
Little hole in the wall.
Do they focus solely on just comics or any certain genre of comics?
They're predominantly comics. They have the bigs. They have Marvel and DC.
Right.
They have limited backstock, but again, they're only a year old. But they've got a lot of indie stuff, and they've got a lot of cool independent art stuff too. Okay. Like local artists who've done comic work will do things like, there's this one. I'll pull it down. What the heck? There's a guy who does local art, and he one of their local artists does comics, some indie comics and stuff, and he does variations on themes for characters. So we found this.
Yeah, you showed me that the last night. That is incredible.
Trying to get it in there so that.
There you go.
And he's got a whole series of these. Like there's one that's the Invisible Woman, the girl who was not there. And he takes in all these various DC and Marvel heroines or villains, as the case may be, and does them up in this noir pulp comic style, and it's really good. But the same artist also does a lot of WoW characters. He did some G.I. Joe characters. Did a lot of really good stuff. Okay. The place is run by fans when on the inside they've got all comic, for lack of a better term, comic themed graffiti style almost, but not quite graffiti, on their wall. Nice. Like the whole wall. These guys came in and did it. And they've got a couple art tables set up. It's if you get a chance, check it out. They're really cool guys. Unfortunately, I remember one of them's name Matthew. I don't remember the other one's name. I'm sorry. And the other guy, and one of the things that's cool about him is, and one of the reasons they really earned the shout out in my mind, is they besides being genuine fans themselves, they genuinely care about the customers. Nikki was in there looking for a specific issue of Ferrist that she didn't have and George couldn't order. So she asked him, she's like, hey, I'm looking for this model or this particular book. Do you have it? And they were looking at like, yeah, no, we don't have it. The third guy who works with him in the back heard this, apparently made a phone call and said, you guys going to be here for 15 minutes? We're like, yeah, we can be. Why? He's like, yeah, I'm going to run over to a store a little bit away, grab that for you, bring it back. We'll bring it back for you in 5 minutes.
That's good customer service.
He got in his car, drove to another shop that they're friends with, picked it up, came back, and sold us the comic.
Very nice.
At cover.
Oh, at
he
cover,
didn't jack
even
the price.
Better.
Yeah. So I was just like, wow, okay, you guys deserve a shout out because they're awesome. If you're in Santa Monica, they're technically labeled as Los Angeles, but it's right off of the 405 and 10 on Pico.
Okay.
So definitely check it out. Cool Cats Comics and Cards. There you can find them. I found them on Yahoo and nothing flat. So
very nice.
Definitely check it out. Okay, cool. That's my obligatory. Hey, these guys were cool to me segment.
It's all good. We always want to talk about people like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Share the love.
The only thing I have is again Desu Nation because they're my dealers right now.
I need to check out your. One of these times, I need to come down and go to your dealer. And
well, when I walk in and he's and things where hey, he kind of already knows exactly what you're looking for and what you're into, especially this shop. I mean, it does have some figures, it does have some wall scrolls and whatnot, but those are just background items. They're 90% of the stuff that they have there is for all the card games,
right?
Buddy Fight, Weiss Schwartz, Card
Basically
Fight Vanguard.
a lot of Bushy Road stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And so when you come in, the owner Terry is really chill. He's willing to sit down and actually teach you a couple strategies, how to play the game, what type of strategy might work best for you, what type of cards will work best, and he'll actually sit there with you and go through a deck recipe, a deck list that worked and won several championships over in Japan. He'll go through the listing with you, and if he has the cards, he'll sell you at the Japanese price.
Oh, nice.
So,
Well, potentially nice.
well, here's the thing,
Potentially
though.
that could bite you in the ass depending on the
Oh,
card.
you have no idea. Like I'm, like I have a Sword Art Online deck now that was well now it's pretty decent. I'm winning a few rounds with it, but
Mhm.
it cost me a little bit. I'm working on a Phantom deck. The anime wasn't really that good. The art was nice. The deck is amazing. Unfortunately, I only have about a third, if that, of what the deck I need, and I need to save up on this one because in order to get the correct cards, it'd be cheaper for me to buy the singles directly, and it's still going to cost me like $250 for that.
See, that's,
so I'm
that's
holding.
a bit. I really can't talk because the expansion kit for for X-wing is $30, but you get the 2 ships out of it.
Well,
it's the same cost. The little packs, like the single ship packs, not counting the YT 2200, aka Millennium Falcon, or the Fire Spray, aka Slave One. Basically, if it comes in a big box like this, it's $30. If it comes in the little small single ships, they're $15.
Right.
And I found them out of all places, Barnes and Noble. That being said, we have moral issues with Barnes and Noble. Because number one, they're assholes. Number two, Nikki used to work there and gave me an explicit details why they're assholes and why she gets really upset at the idea of having to pay, support them. But if you can find them at a decent price, like I said, 15 for the single ship, 30 for the larges. Support your comic shops. Support your comics and game shops.
Good point.
I mean, Barnes and Noble's a big faceless conglomerate. Support your local shops, guys.
I agree completely. And into the chat, Merc420, yes, there is a dot between my eyes because last night...
He is turning Hindu!
Yeah, no. Shut up. No.
Thank you for watching. Please watch again.
A bug decided to bite me right here in the middle of my face, and it's like...
Your mom doesn't have any cover-up you can borrow? Just go...
I didn't really notice it until I got on camera getting ready for this, and I'm like...
And you're like, oh, crap.
Welcome to From My Mother's Basement. My name is Habib, and I...
Habib?
I don't know.
God, you went there.
Yes, I did.
Oh, my God. With an Indian accent with a not even remotely Indian name.
Exactly. If I'm going to be racist, I'm going to be racist to everyone as fast as possible.
Completely insensitive. Okay. Wow.
Come on, it's me.
No,
Would you expect...
It's funny. It's just wow.
Should we just get to the news instead and forget?
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on to our list.
So we talked about before on Fox how they're going to work on a Gotham TV series, and we finally have the official logo. We have some story snippets.
I didn't see in the notes. There it is. Son of a bitch. You added that last minute, you bastard. Go ahead.
It was there a while earlier. So we have the new logo. Looks all dark and menacing. Apparently, the synopsis is so lengthy that for me to try to go through it would literally, it's 2 pages long. And that's the synopsis. So
synopsis do tend to be long.
Yeah. So thankfully, the guys over at ScreenRant.com picked out the highlights of it. So Gotham is going to be an origin story of the great DC Comics supervillains and vigilantes. So they claim they're going to plan to cover the circumstances that create Catwoman, the Penguin, the Riddler, Two-Face, and Joker. That last one's kind of interesting, given...
Well, usually centers around him falling in chemicals of some sort. So.
Right. I'm wondering, though, what path they're going to take. Or could they take a completely alternate take on his backstory?
I hope not. I really hope not, because that's kind of a critical portion of it. Although I'm wondering if they're going to go down the road that Burton introduced in the Keaton Batman of, did Joker... Because I don't remember. Is that canon? Joker shooting Bruce's parents?
I don't remember.
I mean, he wasn't Joker at the time.
Right. I don't know if it is canon. Same thing with... Because that was never brought up in Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. So...
Everyone's a little bit racist.
Sometimes. We already know who's playing Cobblepot, Robin Lord Taylor. We already know that Penguin's boss, Fish Moody's being played by Jada Pinkett Smith. We have that
I,
one's going to be interesting. I think it could do well.
That's a tough pill to swallow.
I think it could do well.
No, I like Jada. I just think the concept is a tough pill to
Okay.
swallow.
What were some of the other notes here? Gordon's father used to serve Gotham as district attorney, and the rookie detective, who is engaged to Barbara Keene, hopes to restore the city back to the pure version he remembers as he remembered as a kid. Looks like Harvey Bullock will actually return. That's good. Bruce Wayne in this series is only going to be a 12-year-old kid, whom Gordon feels an inexplicable kinship.
I am the Knight. Don't touch me. I am the Knight.
Well, you know the Marvel babies
Yeah.
comics. I'm kind of thinking that all of a sudden for Batman. Slightly younger, I'm sure, but
Wow.
yeah. I keep on hearing more and more things about this. I don't know if it depends on how much Fox gives this crew leeway to move forward to make a good story.
Okay.
But there are so many what ifs right now, and the fact of them possibly going off canon to do a whole alternate universe bull.
That's what worries me. Is I mean, now admittedly, canon's kind of flexible anyway, but there's going off canon, and then there's going off into what the hell were you smoking when you had this idea?
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, they won't go that route.
I'm quite sure they won't go down the Smallville route for something like this.
Which is funny because Smallville on its own was actually kind of good. I actually enjoyed Smallville.
Really, I could not get into it. But that whole Smallville feeling is kind of expanding out to other shows. So kind of tangenting along to Arrow.
Arrow's an offshoot of Smallville.
Yes. And I actually been really enjoying Arrow. And they've been teasing a number of, different people from other comics along the way. We talked about a few of them just recently. Like Suicide Squad and possibly Harley Quinn. And
I'm really nervous about that. I'm hoping, but I'm really nervous about that.
Well, the other one that they were trying to work on was to introduce, before the spin-off series begins, is the Flash is going to get their own TV series on the CW. And we finally have a couple clips of the full just images of the full costume.
Yeah.
Here, let's go over the head real quick. Here it is.
He looks like Opie. It's like Opie in a RoboCop mask. Oh, God.
You have 15 seconds to comply.
No, but as fast as he goes, it's 15 microseconds.
15 microseconds. But here's the thing, though. Compared to the rest of the outfit, I don't know. I mean,
it's not horrible. Because if you look, they're doing, and this is something I've been seeing in a lot of hero costumes lately. Notice they got the texture on the garment.
Yeah.
It's not quite the same texture they used on the Superman garment for the most recent Superman film.
Right.
Or for the Batman. Or even on Tron Legacy. There's this thing now, and I want to know where this factory is that's cranking out this fabric, because I can't find it.
Mm-hmm.
Of getting this rubber stuff effectively printed on the fabric to make it look like it's some sort of linkage.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, as fast as he moves, are they playing that up as this is a material this kid out from nowhere who happens to move really fast and happens to be a coroner? Or no, is he a coroner or is he a CSI agent?
He is, I believe,
I thought he was a coroner
agent in this one.
I don't remember. But other, he's a crime scene investigator, basically. He's a what is it called? Actual term.
I'm just watching Mike.
He tracks all this stuff down. Although is it me or did they change his name?
Yeah, this one it's
They're naming him Barry. I thought the Flash's real name was Wally.
Remember correctly, it was Barry Allen.
Was it Barry?
Yeah, I believe it was Barry Allen.
I thought it was Wally, but okay.
I still laugh at who they got to play the Flash. Grant Gustin, which his last
who looks like Opie in that helmet. I'm sorry.
Well, considering his last role was in Glee, and he's joined to this, I'm like, is he going to start singing faster? Never mind.
I'm gonna kick your ass, Mr. Luther.
Okay.
God, the Flash does Glee. Oh, that's scary. That is so scary, but funny, potentially funny.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with this
one. We're gonna kick crime in the nuts tonight. We're gonna kick it in the nuts tonight. Yeah, jazz hands. Anyway, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Okay.
Sorry. Beyonce.
I'm suddenly imagining Robin Williams.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's going through my head is Robin Williams in Birdcage.
Okay, fine. Let's move on to Marvel. Marvel was actually at South by Southwest this week, or last week, and they announced a new series, new video series. It's going to be a documentary series. It's called Tales to Astonish. I guess the whole idea behind it is that they're trying to tie in some of their classic and most popular story arcs from past comic series into modern society.
That's not what I got from that.
But they did release a trailer for the first episode of this, which focuses actually on the Civil War series and how it ties into. They're gonna stretch it a bit. 9/11 and the Patriot Act.
No, it's not stretching at all. It's exactly what it was based on.
Okay, well, let's see how this.
Or that was its inspiration.
Okay.
I think it's got potential. I mean that correlation that they're talking about has been drawn before between the Civil War and what's going on now, and that it was downright prophetic, leaning into all the crap we're dealing with the NSA now.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally would love. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I wish they'd hurry up and figure out what their distribution channel is going to be.
Yeah, especially because they haven't revealed how they're going to distribute this.
Not yet, no.
I am curious to see what how they're going to tackle some of the other topics that they've already slated for discussion in future documentaries, such as Tony Stark's drinking problem, Captain Marvel's death from cancer, and the snobbery directed towards comic book art and the rest of the modern art community.
That one's going to be interesting.
That last one's going to be very, very cool.
I'm really curious as to where they're going to go with that, because somewhere in there the anime is going to get tossed in.
Well, of course it's going to.
It's just wow.
So once we find out what Marvel's going to do with these documentaries, I'm kind of hoping they're going to just release them on the net or something.
I'm hoping they do too,
because I think that's the best place for like a short format documentary series.
Well, for an initial release, and then once they've got more than a bunch of them, release them all as a. I mean, do what if the series is as good as they're saying it, or as it looks it could be. I have to say, I phrase that very carefully. There's no reason they couldn't put it out for free at first,
right?
And then from there, once they get a bunch of them together, pop it on a DVD.
Well, also, I wouldn't be surprised if, given Disney/Marvel's deal with Netflix, that it arrives on there first. But yeah, throw it on a DVD and Blu-ray. That'd be fantastic for it. So we shall see if this takes off. They mentioned a lot of stuff during their South by Southwest panels regarding Avengers 2 and 3, what's going to go on with Phase 3, some additional information about how they could possibly handle the inclusion of mutants in their cinematic universe, because they can't use the name mutants because they don't own the rights to it. At least in the cinematic version.
Well, no, they don't. No, they own the rights. They don't have the current licensing rights. Right. The license is leased at the moment.
Right now to Fox.
Have they released any footage of Ultron yet?
I think they only have one teaser trailer, and that's like the helmet of Ultron.
Which is the one they showed
At Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, as far as I'm aware, that's the only thing.
I read somewhere there's a new trailer coming out. I thought it was going to be hitting South by Southwest, but maybe we'll get lucky. It'll show up at WonderCon or something.
It'll be hopefully, yeah. Well, now that we've talked about Marvel, we need to continue talking about Marvel because you've actually caught up now.
Yes,
on
I'm
Agents of
caught up
S.H.I.E.L.D.
on S.H.I.E.L.D.
And
S.H.I.E.L.D.
for those of you who are not caught up on this, I apologize, but you probably want to mute or go away for a while.
Spoiler.
This is going to be a massive spoiler. Specifically, we're going to talk about the episode titled Tahiti.
Yeah.
We finally find out... I mean, we already found out that, how Coulson was brought back in a sense. All the multiple surgeries.
There's not in a sense. He was brought back from the dead. There's no in a sense about it.
Okay, fine. He was brought back through multiple surgeries and a certain formula, certain liquid. What was it? GH 235 or 325, I think was.
I think it was 232.
Something like that. But Coulson was always trying to find out exactly what else was used to bring him back, because it was some pretty dark stuff. In this episode, they actually track down a certain site in the hills of God knows where, I forget.
It's on the coast.
And they Coulson finds something. Finds a tube that says GH on it, and that's it.
Well, no, it has GH. That's the thing. He finds the drug because Sky, because they're looking for it to try and save Sky.
Which I'm kind of sad.
Get away from the Sky show, but whatever.
I was kind of hoping like, wow, they shot Sky. Awesome, this is gonna be a better show.
I was hoping he'd actually kill her, but he didn't. But used it as a tool to go into further this. And what happens is Coulson walks as he finds the drug, hands it to Fitz, and says, get this up there, get it in her.
Mm-hmm.
And then he starts looking around, and he spots a door that labeled Tahiti, T.A.H.I.T.I. And he opens it, and then you don't see what's going on in there at first. He comes out going, "Don't let her take the drug. Don't let her take the drug. Don't give her the drug." Blah 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 blah. Then of course it's too late. They give her the drug. She's healed. Whoa, whatever. There was great rejoicing. Yay! And they ate Robin's minstrels. Yay! And then that kind of goes on hold, but you find out. I don't remember if it was in the Tahiti episode. Yeah, it was a Tahiti episode. And they touched a little bit on it on last week's episode when Sif was around. Of where it comes from. And that's the part that he had a serious issue with.
I have a screenshot.
Go for it.
It's a big, giant blue alien.
Now, unfortunately, this is Marvel, not DC. If it were DC, I'd say, look, it's Dr. Manhattan. But it's not. So I'm curiouser as to where it's going to go.
Well, I've told you already, privately my theory of what's going to happen here, and I'll say it again now for the viewers, is that I believe that's a Kree.
I don't think so.
I think it's Kree, and this is the way I'm going to go on with this. And
because they said they already ruled that they already got an idea as to what the race was in last week's episode.
If you remember back to that scene when Coulson's talking to Lady Sif about that, she mentions several different series, Kree being one of them.
I don't recall Kree being one of the ones she mentions.
Kree was in there.
Okay, but she also states that of these species, only one has been to your planet.
That she's aware of. And we all know that when you say something like that, there's always going to be some, small, very underground group that made the trip without anybody.
So what, are the Kree going to get pissed off and come back to pick up their boy? What? That is now buried under a mountain of rubble?
But here's the other thing I tie into
literally
this, is that whatever that vial of stuff that came from this alien being, when it was put into Coulson, caused him to endure massive amounts of pain. When it was thrown for a very long time, when that same stuff was injected into Sky, She did, have a moment of pain. She spiked in a moment in that one scene, but it just like that, it was over an instant, and she instantly started healing.
Okay.
Makes me wonder. And you can, I'm gonna call it now, and guys can laugh at me later on when I'm wrong, or if I'm wrong, I should say. Sky is Ultra Girl.
God, I fucking.
I'm calling her right now. Sky is Ultra Girl.
Is Ultra Girl a hacker?
In which version? Okay, let me phrase that.
Any of the
in which
iterations.
Earth? Earth's,
In any of the
616.
iterations.
Okay, fine.
I mean, has she ever been on text as being a hacker?
Being a hacker, I don't believe so.
I mean, has she ever been a techno geek? I don't recall Marvel Girl being a techno person. Now, that being said, I don't know a hell of a lot about Marvel Girl. This is a question Nikki could probably answer better than I, and George better than her.
Okay.
But
the reason being, like, if you look into the history of Ultra Girl, the way you go into the comics universe, she is half human, half white Kree. Because there was two types
White
of Kree.
Kree? She's a cracker Kree?
Yes. There was blue Kree and white Kree. And she was raised by two humans in California to try to hide her origins. Of course, that always happens in comics and whatnot.
I was going to say, that happened with Star-Lord. That happened with...
Yeah, take your pick. Throw a dart.
And we're going to see Star-Lord in August, so...
But that's just me. I look at all this.
I gotta look. Let me look into this. Let me see what I can find.
Okay. Like, do you have any theories at all about this? What it could possibly mean?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's obvious there's something going on there. The idea that she spiked quicker than he did, if that's part of her native blood or her natural bloodline, okay, fine, that could explain it. But also get to the fact that she was in the process of dying when they gave it to her.
Okay.
Coulson was long dead when they gave it to him.
Okay.
So it was doing a lot more work on him than it did on her. She had a couple of gunshots and blood loss. He had shredded the hell up, including his heart cut, his heart virtually bisected.
True, very true.
A lot more work done on him would explain why it hurts like hell.
Okay.
Now,
and that actually
that's just my piecing it together.
Okay.
Pulling info out of my butt,
And of course, we'll have to wait.
We won't know until Whedon reveals it. So
right, and there's still another 7 episodes left in this season,
at least.
Something like that.
What are we up to now?
I forget what episode.
I think we're at like 15.
Something like that.
Yeah,
and of course
so we've got at least another 7 episodes to go.
Right, and of course they had to do the semi-rebranding of, call it Ages of S.H.I.E.L.D. Uprising. Because now Coulson's like on the warpath.
Yeah, which means Samuel L. is going to be coming back in. Hopefully he'll have better budget for his makeup this time.
Yeah, because the last time he was on, it was so apparent that, like, someone just go to the makeup store and grab something and make it look like he hit a scar.
Draw his shit in with eyeliner.
Yeah, it looked like crap. So
what's in your wallet? Not enough money to buy the right makeup, obviously.
And besides, Samuel L. Jackson will be playing this character for so long. He still has a couple more pictures left in his deal. Which actually reminds me, the actor who's playing the Winter Soldier, playing Bucky.
I'd say it is Bucky,
yeah,
right?
It is Bucky. They confirmed it through all these interviews. Yes, it is Bucky. That actor is contracted for 9 pictures with Marvel.
Oh my.
Yeah, so he's going to be around for a very long time.
Oh my.
I mean, also, but the same thing also with Captain America.
Yeah, I don't see him going back to playing Johnny Storm anytime soon.
Well, especially because they've actually had to rewrite the upcoming reboot of the Fantastic Four movie.
Which is sad, because I liked Alba. I know I'm lame. It's also because I happen to be a Jessica Alba fan from all the way back to Dark Angel. But
Dark Angel.
Speaking of which, what the hell did they do with her hair in Sin City 2? Did you see that glowy effect they threw in her hair?
Post-production?
Yeah, it's like, really? Okay, fine, whatever.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. But, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have to see what happens on S.H.I.E.L.D. in the
but I hope
future.
they keep Michael Chiklis as Ben Grimm, because
I kind of don't think they're going to.
He was fantastic in that role.
He was fantastic in that role, but
he was a fan of that character anyway.
Very
which
true.
made it all the better.
Although I have a sneaking suspicion they're not going to. Because they want to go new and hip, which means everyone actors under the age of 21.
Yeah, no, that'd be impossible. Reed Richards is too old for that.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be dumb to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But it could, although they're putting the pieces together, and this is me stretching here a little bit, if they're rebooting Fantastic Four, they're going to have to work something out with Fox to do it, though. But if Winter Soldier dude's contracted for 9 pictures, they've extended Captain America's contract. I'm sure I'd heard somewhere.
He has 6 pictures on his deal, so
he's got 6 pictures,
and his cameo in Thor 2 didn't count.
Okay, so he's got 6 pictures. We've got the rest of the Avengers doing a bunch, although we don't know what the hell's going to happen with Robert Downey Jr.
He just knows how to really negotiate.
Gotta give him credit for that.
That's true.
But don't let him take over the frickin' movie. Of course, Whedon's not afraid to tell people to go pound sand either. So,
right,
he's done it before.
This is true, but I can easily see RDJ basically stating, "I am Iron Man in all senses of the word. How are you going to recast this?" On the opposite end of the spectrum, you have Hugh Jackman in a recent interview stating that he already knows that in the near future, they're going to shoot another Wolverine movie, most likely with him. But there's going to be an eventuality where they're going to recast that
just due to age,
that character, just due to his age. He's aware of that.
Yeah, they have. Well, because Logan never ages. So
right, exactly.
That's one of those. It's not Hugh Jackman's fault. It is what it is. At least he's smart enough to realize and not cling to the, give me plastic surgery and I'll be young forever. You know? He's not going to come in there looking like, oh God, what is his name? That is not my bird. That guy. You know the guy I'm talking about?
Yes.
I mean, oh God, you want to talk about a plastic surgery disaster?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What? No, not Bruce Jenner. Although that's another example.
Yeah, true.
But either way, it's they could be setting up for shooting Civil War.
True, very true. I mean, this is all pure fan speculation.
Oh yeah, it's pure. Hello, what is our show?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It's there's talk because in that thing about Tales to Astonish, talking about Civil War and where it comes from and how it's borderline prophetic and whatnot. Not borderline, it is in some ways. And they've also tied it into Winter Soldier.
Yeah, true.
So they may be laying the path for that.
Well, time will tell.
Indeed. And we've rambled along. Let's move to anime, shall we?
Yes.
Only smally, but big deal.
We need to bring some anime every once in a while back into the From Mother's Basement. And this is a trailer for an upcoming, I guess you can call it just a re-release.
Well, it's a Blu-ray re-release / remaster that they actually did really well.
Very well done.
The thing is, I bought this series. I already own everything of this series on DVD.
So you have to seriously question if you're actually going to re-buy this.
No, there's no question about it. I'm going to buy it.
Okay, you're with me then because I
paid, and you guys will see exactly what we're talking about in a moment. But for the season box set when this came out, they were releasing the season box sets for about 100 to 120 a pop.
Mm-hmm.
I paid fair market value for all but 3 of them.
Wow. When these started coming out, I was young and stupid and didn't really know the difference between official and bootleg. So
see, I bought the legits all from the proper releasing company. But by the time they got down to releasing the last 3, I had achieved a sufficient position in Expo and dealing with vendors and certain people that they cut me a mega deal on the last 3.
Nice.
So I got lucky on the last 3 seasons, but not on the OAVs, not on the movies, and not on the first 5 seasons.
Yeah, and this is going to be a cash cow because people like you and I are just going to buy all this up on Blu-ray anyways.
Because I'm actually really impressed with the quality that they did.
I am too.
What are we talking about? Push the button.
Pushing button.
I am so there. It's not funny, and my tax return's hitting about the point that hits. So now, what's cool about it is they're releasing the entirety of season 1 for $50 on Blu-ray, 1080p resolution, 4:3 1080p, but still 1080p resolution. And the quality of their so they're taking it off the original masters, which means they're pulling the detail. They're pulling their source off of the original 2-inch. Admittedly 480p or 480i masters, but it's off of original 2-inch video, which is as clean a source as you can get it. Then they run it through post-processing after that.
Clean up the coloring and whatnot.
To clean up the color and the saturation, and it's gorgeous. And that was one of the few series that, in my opinion, that was one of the first decent English dubs.
Yes.
It's not perfect.
It was from Ocean, right? Decent. It was from Ocean Studios.
Yeah, it was Ocean Studios,
which did a back in the day at that time frame was like
they were
the company to do that.
Oh yeah, they were the shit when it came to that. So yeah, I'm all over that. $50 for season 1. Oh yeah,
buy that, marathon it in a heartbeat.
Well, exactly, and they're doing it in original episode order because, and for those of you who don't know what that means, if you've watched Ranma, there's reference at the end of season 1. To Shampoo, who didn't show up in the box sets till partway into season 2.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're putting it all back in original episode order doesn't sound like as big a deal as it really is, because some of the story doesn't make sense.
Shampoo. Shampoo was great. Shampoo, and then there's Okonomiyaki Girl, and then there's...
Oh, Ukyo? I love Ukyo.
Ukyo's awesome.
Ukyo's awesome. I actually... I like all of Ranma's quote-unquote fiancés, but I have to say, Shampoo, even though she's a bit of a hoe bag.
A bit!
The dynamic between her and Moose, though, is phenomenal.
Oh, with Moose? Oh, God. There's Pichon.
And I like Ukyo a lot. I think Ukyo is actually my favorite of his fiancés.
Yeah. And this is going to be... It definitely has a nostalgic factor.
That isn't Akane.
That isn't Akane. I'll agree with that. But this has such a nostalgic factor to me. Like, I still remember, days, like weekends, like full weekends where HBO and I would literally sit there on the couch and just marathon a few seasons straight through.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've got all 7 or 8 seasons.
Plus the OVAs.
The DVD sets, plus the OAVs, plus the movies. I've got it all. I've got it all sitting out there, and I'm about to replace it with Blu-ray. Or at least part of it with Blu-ray.
Well, then you sell those out, and then you just
that, or I give them to my kid. My kid would want them.
There you go. Okay. Let's see what we're gonna jump into. Let's go to 34 real quick.
If you haven't, hang on. If you haven't seen Ranma 1/2, you need to.
Yes.
This was back when. I mean, and yes, for those few of you out there who are, taboo about nudity, yes, it shows boobs.
Well.
Yeah. It's from a time when it wasn't as big a deal to Japan.
No.
It's not like modern. I mean, this is an anime that originally released in the early 80s. And it's really good.
It really is. It holds up. If you guys haven't seen it and you can't wait till this comes out on DVD and Blu-ray, which is March 25th, you can go watch the first season. I believe the first 8 episodes are available right now for streaming on Hulu. And
if any of you are young enough to have not seen Ranma and come up to me and go, why does Ranma characters look and sound like Inuyasha? Bite me.
Going back real quick, Ocean Studios was like the shit when it came to English dubs, but they used the same actors and actresses over and over again, which I was fine with.
Yeah, I was okay with that, but it's not. Well, the Japanese did it too. The same voice actor voiced Inuyasha and Ranma. So I mean, a lot of the character and again Akane too. So that's consistent. But Ranma came first. Same artist, same writer, Same voice actors, Japanese and English, but Ranma was first.
Good times. Very good times. All right. Well, I know it must have been a month or so ago, we showcased this picture from a Valve developer conference showcasing the new
Nipple controller.
Yeah. The revised controller that did not have the touchscreen in the center that it was initially touted with. Mm-hmm. Well, we finally have an official closer look at the Steam controller. If you notice that the 8 buttons actually get a little bit of color now, at least the ABXY buttons on the right-hand side.
Look amazingly like Xbox numbers.
I know, it's weird. It's like it's almost standard.
I know those.
You have essentially what I'm guessing to be a start and select button, as well as I'm guessing the Valve icon button looks to be pressable.
What I'm thinking is I'm wondering, because you're right, it is fairly standard. There's they pretty much perfected the basic form of a controller.
Yep.
It's always going to be in that wing form for your hands to be in that position. There's another one. I saw one today. Well, there's a couple things, but there's the one we're talking about in 36 in a little bit. But also, I was in Toys R Us today looking for that sphere, and there's an adapter controller thing that lets you play video games on your Android-based tablet, and it too is in that same configuration, albeit a lot smaller. So it's kind of pretty much everybody's got that. Sony hit on it first. Xbox refined it. Sony said, "Screw you, we're going to redo it again." And Xbox said, "Oh yeah, screw you, we're going to do this." And I was like, "Screw y'all, we're putting boobs on it."
That are very, very sensitive.
And feel back.
I'm still going to pick this up the day it's available. So
I don't know.
Now
I want to see it in action.
Fair
before
enough.
I make that decision.
But it seems like Amazon wants to get into this game as well.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I don't understand. It's been long rumored that they were going to work on some sort of set-top box for gaming, but then you have things like the Ouya and Roku and
well, Roku's not a game box predominantly.
Predominantly, no, but they do.
Roku is a TV stream,
right? But there's the Roku, I think the XR version that actually can play games, some games on it, very basic. The Ouya is designed to be a games console through and through, but it's only Android games. So I kind of wonder why Amazon even wants to get into this kind of market. But some images that came from a Brazilian regulatory commission that's very similar to the FCC linked or showcased this picture, all but confirming that as Amazon is making that set-top box. It's a standard setup. I mean, it looks very similar to, well, at least the 3 buttons in the center. That's Android right there.
Yeah, it's got to be Android based.
Back home settings.
Maybe this is your back home menu.
Yeah.
Then you got the play, pause, scan forward, scan backward. Your standard ABXY.
Right. So I'm guessing this will probably tie in whatever.
It's going to be an Android, whatever. That tells me it's going to be Android based, whatever it is.
So you'll have an Android base. It'll play games. It'll most likely be a media streamer. Hence the rewind, fast forward, and play pause buttons at the bottom there. I don't know.
Amazon's got the servers to do it.
They do, and they've said time and time again they want to focus on content, not really on the hardware. Hence, when you look at all of their tablets, the Kindle HD, whatever it was,
HD Fire, HDX,
yeah, those are essentially rebranded with the special UI over stock Android, but they all focus on Amazon's content. Do we really need to have another thing to connect to your TV? I mean, Michael, how many things do you have connected to your TV right now?
Well, I haven't bought an Xbone, and I don't plan on buying an Xbone. I'm seriously leaning towards a PS4, but I can't justify it yet.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
A Wii U, I'm not really interested in. There's nothing out there that screams must buy.
Yeah.
Watch Dogs is going to be hitting 4, not you. Well, actually, maybe hitting you, but I've got my Wii, my Xbox 360, my PS3, and I've got a HD PC.
For me, I have...
That doesn't have a Blu-ray drive in it.
Well, you have your PS3 for that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I have a PS3 home theater setup. I have an Xbox 360, a HD PC, not to mention anything I hook up to it, additional like a Chromecast and whatnot at times. I have all of that already hooked up to it, and the only thing that really gets any use out of it is like the PS3. So,
yeah, PS3 gets most of my use.
Yeah. So I look at it as, do we really need yet another device in there? Because almost every device that you connect to a TV nowadays can all practically do the exact same thing.
Exactly. It's going to come down to content and exclusive content at that. I mean, right. the specs on the PS4 and the Xbone are pretty much, they're not identical, but they're real close.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes down to interface and content. That's what's going to win the war. And as far as, like the Steam box even, why should I bother getting a Steam box when I can just go into big mode on my HD PC, exactly. And that controller will work on a PC?
Mm-hmm.
They've already said as much. So,
right. I mean, I look at it the same way.
I've got one HDMI slot open on my TV.
I have
one.
None.
So whatever I put on it, that's it.
Yeah. Like, I want to keep it that I currently have. The only things I want to put on my system right now is a small HTPC to stream anything that my PS3 can't. I want to simplify that as much as possible.
Well, that's my old gateway with my NVIDIA cards on it.
Right.
So
to add more stuff to it aside from like a new console,
mm-hmm. That console better come with not only kick-ass games, preferably out the box. Or in the box with it. Mm-hmm. It better come with kick-ass games, but it also better come with Power BJ mode. I mean, this thing, it better toss my salad in the... Okay, that's kind of gross. Let's not do it. It better, be, oh my God, awe-inspiring, because it not only has to win me over, it has to win my woman over.
Yeah.
If it can get to the point where Nikki looks at it and goes, yes, we can have it in the house. Okay.
If not, then you can keep on dreaming.
Well, that's why I guarantee you I will not get an Xbone, even if I want one, which I don't. But even if I wanted one, we won't have one because Nikki hates Microsoft.
There you go. All right. Well, since we're talking about stuff on the TV, Michael, what have you been watching?
Clone Wars. I streamed, now that it's all on there, I managed to burn my way through all of season 1. And I'm a couple episodes. I'm about 3 or 4 episodes into season 2. I'm kind of upset that I didn't start watching this sooner. It's
really
way better than I expected it to be. Now it's a little simplistic in certain areas. You could tell this wasn't. It was written for Star Wars fans, but it wasn't written. You could tell it was its complexity level was so that younger kids could get into it and understand it.
True.
Yet they're not afraid to kill people. They're not afraid.
They
kill people all the time. Now, most of the people you see killed are aliens or clones, which I know because I know you almost. I can't think of a single time I've seen an actual human get killed. And I make that distinction because it's the clones are disposable, therefore they're not considered real people, and blah 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 blah, and they're treated as such, except by a couple of the key Jedi treat them as if they were real people, which they are.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody else treats them like disposable tissue. It's all strong and disposable. It's and so there's a little bit of that in there, but they're not afraid to people get cut. Droids get shredded like no tomorrow. Stuff gets blown up. They've touched on the poisoning. I'm just shocked I haven't watched this. I'm kind of upset with myself for not watching it sooner. It's actually pretty damn good.
And it is, and now you can binge the whole way through.
I'm kind of pissed off at Anakin, but that's nothing new.
Exactly.
Ahsoka's kind of whiny, but cool. I still like her.
Mm-hmm.
The guy they've got doing Obi-Wan does a really good Oh God, what is that damn actor's name? Does a really good Obi-Wan voice. Let's put it that way.
Ewan McGregor voice.
Ewan McGregor. He does a really good Ewan McGregor. The person doing Mace Windu can't imitate Samuel L. Jackson to save his life.
Yeah.
But their other voices are really good, and it's once you adapt to the character style, because the characters are very stylized. Once you adjust to that, the graphics are really damn good. You just have to look past they don't look like real people stage.
Yeah.
But once you accept the character designs, it's gorgeous. The only thing that really pisses me off are the damn battle droids that can't hit the broadside of a barn.
But that's classic Star Wars.
That's true. The bad guys can never hit anything.
Exactly.
But they're stupid. Oh my God.
They're designed to be stupid.
They're comic relief.
Yes.
That bugs me. They're overly comic, and I think they do that. I think that's done for the kids. And that's the part that bugs me.
I mean, they can't focus on Jar Jar because that just makes the kids cry, but...
Jar Jar, he's... Oh, God. How the hell that Jar Jar isn't dead between Ep 2 and Ep 3 is beyond me. Because he shows... how far are you in?
I'm only 6 episodes into season 1.
Okay, so you haven't seen the episode where they go to... oh, God, I don't remember the name of the planet, but it's a Rhodian homeworld.
I know which episode you're talking about.
Where Jar Jar gets mistaken for a Jedi?
Yes. Okay.
Oh my God, that was dumb. so dumb. But out beyond that, I'm really enjoying it.
Good. Very good. Me, I unfortunately I used to have a really bad habit of pre-ordering Blu-rays for series or movies that I really enjoy, picking them up, and then never opening them.
Oh yeah, I've got a few of those on my shelf.
And so this past weekend, I was like, okay, I'm going to start going through that. We'll go from most recent to and go back. This one just came in last week, and it was Psycho-Pass, season 1.
Awesome series.
Unbelievable series. Comes on. If you get both the combo packs, it's.
Why is your camera bouncing up and down?
It's because it's attached to my freaking table. So when I hit the table, it bounces.
Okay.
So
okay.
Yeah, it's a bad design flaw on my behalf.
Sorry. It's just like you run over. It's like Jason's up a yo-yo.
Yes, exactly. Today on the I'm at sea right now and
rock the boat.
Oh, don't rock the... No, I'm not going to go into that.
Almost got you.
You almost got me.
Just don't call me. Maybe.
God damn it. So, watching this series, I watched the simulcast when it came out initially in Japanese.
So did I.
I decided this time around to watch it in English. I decided I'll watch episode 1 in English, see how it is, and move from there.
How bad is it?
I actually finished the series in English.
Really?
Yes. They actually, I mean, some of the phrases and sayings do get kind of lost in translation.
Well, yeah, because there's no real translation.
Right. But in terms of the feel of each character, they got it down really well. Like, it was actually very
surprising. Is the prissy
surprising.
artist girl still prissy artisty?
Yes. Like, it works so well.
Nice.
I have to give props.
Anybody we know?
Off the top of my head, I just completely drew a blank on all the actors and actresses.
It's your turn.
Yeah, I know. But I actually highly recommend it. Pick it up. You can get the set for, I think, about $55 right now.
And if you're expecting super cute girls, you're not going to get it.
No.
This one's about the animation quality is good. Character designs are a little
production IG. Well, the other thing was the whole thing when production IG was in works with this. Moe was a banned word in that studio.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for Moe, this ain't your series. But if you're looking for deep thoughts and some seriously good writing, like Gits quality writing, this show has it.
And some very disturbing violence in some scenes.
Some of the concepts, my God.
I cannot wait for both season 2 and the upcoming movie.
I'm looking forward to season 2. I wish they'd hurry up and start it.
The other one that I decided to watch last night and marathon through was Nakaimo. My sister is among them. Yes, this is the series that I had to convince Michael to watch at the beginning because it was, and I remember the phrase, so bad it's good.
Yeah.
And
so does the Blu-ray removal of fog and dark lighting actually reveal anything?
Significant amount, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was such. I mean,
you have to bring it up with you now.
After watching it, during the simulcast, and then having like the uncensored version, it doesn't phase. It doesn't change anything really in my mind about the scenes.
Well, no. Well, it's about the story. And the story is actually super smarmy, but
oh my god, yes, it is.
It's beyond smarmy.
It's beyond smarmy.
I like smart.
When one girl is talking about, "Oh, Mashogo, won't you eat my cream puffs?"
Oh my god, that episode was hilarious.
And like Psychopaths, I said, you know what? I'll watch the first episode in English. 30 seconds into it, I switched to Japanese.
Yeah.
I would go back every once in a while into the English. It is so bad. I mean,
who did it? Was it? Tell me that wasn't Bang Zooms, because
no,
Bang Zoom. I love Bang Zoom, but they're hit and miss.
No, this one.
Like, have you heard their Lucky Star dub?
I have heard their Lucky Star dub.
The dub itself, the quality's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just the actresses that they picked for the characters. Oh my god.
And the same problem with this one, like the one girl who has the maid cafe.
Yeah.
They had the little sister maid cafe. When you listen in Japanese, the girl, even when she's speaking her normal voice, has like a younger-ish feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
The girl they picked for this one, the voice, sounds like she's like just about to graduate from college. And then when she tries to jump back into the little sister voice, it's no.
Really? So I was afraid they were going to make her sound like Bubbles from Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah. Merc, I would honestly say, if you're trying to make this as bad as Kill Me Baby, which was another really bad series. The English dub for Kill Me Baby is actually a little better than Nakaimo. So. Yeah. So that's what I've watched so far. The next one, which I'll probably watch tonight, and I'm a really bad person for not opening this up yet. It's still in its shrink wrap, Pacific Rim.
Yeah, you're a really bad person.
I bought it on release day, thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna watch these bonus features. It's gonna be amazing," and I never got to it.
No, dude, you need to go back and watch it because that's a hella fun movie, and you need to turn off the lights and put on headphones.
Yeah, I think that may need.
This is one that if you've got decent quality headphones and some decent bass in them, you need that. Okay. Because I know you can't throw the wub up in your house because where you live.
Yeah.
And
I have good headphones, so.
Dude, turn off the lights, pop that sucker on your TV.
I'm going to watch the movie again anyways because it's a fantastic movie.
And it's a fantastic film, but if you're going to do it right.
Of course. I
mean, if we can't go down and enjoy Dave's 26-inch sub.
The thing is, this thing won't even fit in the back of my car. It's that big.
Yeah.
Good time. So yeah, that's basically all I've been watching. So.
Traitor. You tell him, HPL.
All right, everybody. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up.
Where's my goddamn shoe?
And on that note, I think it's time for us to end. Thank you guys so much for hanging out on our oddly filled episode of From Mother's Basement. You can catch us every single Sunday, although we do need to make an announcement.
Yes, there is an announcement to be made starting next week. Boom, boom, boom. Are we we're starting it next week, or are we starting it week after?
Let's start it next week, because I'll be up there next week.
Okay. Hey, that means we could possibly arrange a guest. That'd be awesome.
Yes.
Next week, we are shifting the time. We're still going to be on Sundays, but we know a lot of you like to run off and watch Walking Dead and whatnot, and we end up butting right up against it, and that's really not fair to you guys.
Right.
So for that and some other reasons that we're not going to go into, because frankly they'll just bore the crap out of you, we're shifting the time of the show. We're moving it from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. That way it will be starting as Walking Dead is ending.
Mm-hmm.
It's really sad that we have to compete around Walking Dead, but oh well. It's not the only reason.
It also means that a lot of you people out there who go out and hang out with friends and whatnot and do stuff on Sunday, you don't have to cut it halfway through and rush home. This allows you to go home, get dinner, relax, and then enjoy the show.
Exactly. So you can be in a nice, cozy, stuffed food coma mind when you watch the show.
The Shadar in the chat, bitches need TiVo.
For our back east viewers, of which there are a few of you, including Shadar, yeah, that's going to make it a little late your
time. That means we start at what,
sorry.
10?
Yeah, but she's up that late anyway.
That's the point.
A lot of, we apologize for that, but it was the lesser of two evils. So, starting next week, our new time will be 7 p.m. We will go from 7 till 8, hopefully. And that will work.
In the meantime, past episodes will be up on the website.
Jazzy, I'm sorry it's going to be past your bedtime. It will be up. Jason's going to be working on the website, so it will be up there.
Yes, we'll get things up and going for you guys on that. Whether or not they start still showing up on YouTube, I'm still in the debate on that for the sole fact of...
Are they still dicking with you?
Several times, yes. But we'll get into that during post-show.
Okay.
So, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. We'll see you guys next Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific for another episode of From My Mother's Basement. And, yeah, I'm Jason.
I am Michael.
We'll see you guys next week. Take it easy, everybody.
Hey.